Welcome back, students. Today we will learn about decision making statements in Python. So, in order to execute some decision making statement, we can use if statement, if else statement, if elif statement, and we also have nested if. Flowchart, how can we do it? We have a test expression. Now, this test expression can give you two results, true or false. If the statement is true, if the expression is giving you or the condition is true, then you need to follow certain task. So that is a body of if in case it is true. Then in case of the condition is false, the expression is false, then it has to execute another set of statement. This is how it works. How can we use if statement in Python? Look over here. I have in this program we have two variables a and b, and the values are 33 and 200. Obviously 200 is greater than 33. So if we compare them, if b is greater than a, we need to write that b is greater than a, right? In Python, when we have to write condition, when we have to check a condition, we use the if statement and then the condition we write. And you can see that there is a colon. This colon is necessary after putting the condition in if statement. Now, when you put the colon over here, the next statement which comes is when the condition is true. If this condition is true, then it is going to print A. Otherwise, it will not. So let's see, try it yourself. Now it is giving you the output that B is greater than A. Now if I change this, let's say, and then I say run, what will happen? It is not going to give you any output because the condition is false. So you can see I do not get any kind of output. Then indentation. Python indentation is very important. Indentation means the white space before a line start. For example, you can see in this program, after if condition, the print is written after a gap. It is not starting from here. There is a white space. So this is the indentation interpreter takes itself. So if you change that, if you write it like this, it will give you an error. You will get an error because this is not as per the indentation of Python program. Then else part catches anything which is not caught by the preceding condition. If else part means if the condition is not true, then what you are going to do? This is what you can write in else part. For example, if b is greater than a, then you can print that b is greater than a. Otherwise, b is not greater than a. Let's try some more programs over here. Now I'm going to try one program in which we are going to test whether the number is positive or negative. So how can you test whether the number is positive or negative? If the number is greater than 0, then it is positive, otherwise it is negative. Let's make the changes here. Just one single number. I do not need two numbers here. Right, if num1 is greater than 0, right? And what I have to print that this number is a positive integer, right? This statement is false, then what I have to print that this number is a negative integer. Now, how can you find out whether the number is divisible by 7 or not? See, if you are checking the divisibility of any number, the remainder should be 0. What you have to do to find the remainder, which operator you have to use? The modulus operator. I'm again creating a file. If else condition to find even odd number, right? Again, I need a number. Now, if number is divisible by 2, so divisible by 2 means the remainder must be 0. So for finding the remainder, the modulus operator, which is this, and it should be divisible by 2 and the remainder should be equal to 0. So when we compare, we write double equal to. Why not single? Because if I write num1 is equal to 0, it means the value of num1 is going to be 0. So that's why for comparing we use double equal to, because single equal to sign is used as assignment operator. We have discussed this in the previous video. You can go and watch that. Okay, so if the divisibility by 2 is 0, then the number num1 is an even number. Otherwise, it is an odd number. Really, you can check the divisibility by 7. So let's check how can we do it. So instead of 2, I just write 7. That's it. And then the message has to be changed. The number num1 is divisible by 7. If I enter 77, is divisible by 7. What if you want the user to enter both the numbers, the number which is for which we are checking the divisibility and the number by which we are getting the divisibility test? So let's do that. Can I need another number? enter a number. It is divisible by the first number. So over here I have to divide second number by first number. So num2 divided by num1. Taking the remainder 0, it means the number num2 is divisible by, is not divisible by num1. Save and then run. 25 is divisible by 5. I hope it is interesting for you as well. Let's add 5. This time 26. This is not divisible by 5. So we are rocking. We have covered if part and else part. Now what if we have more than one condition? In that case we have to use if elif statement. Let me show you. B is greater than A. Then we have to print that B is greater than A. But what if A and B both are equal? This condition we can give with the help of elif condition. So we have, this is the first condition. The second condition, if you want to give, you have to use elif. Again, if you have any other condition, again you can use elif. So we can have any number of elif between if and else. But remember that we have only one if and one else part. We can't have more than one if and one else. But we can have any number of elif parts. So it depends how many conditions you have. This will help you to add as many if as you want. I can show you some more if elif statement. See, if variable is double equal to A. Again, for comparing, we have double equal to. It is getting a letter from the user. If it is A, we are printing that this is a vowel 1, A. If it is E, elif. Another condition, elif. Then you are printing that it is a vowel E. Elif, it is I. You are printing it's I. Another one, O. Another one U, and last one, see, we have only 5 vowels. If your user is entering any other alphabet, then it means it is going to be a consonant. So that is defined in the else part. That is not defined in elif. Else part is not having any condition in any case. We have seen in our program also, else part is the last part which is to be executed. So it does not contain any condition. This is all for this video. In the next video, we are going to explore if, elif, else part. Till then, you can practice some question and keep tuning. In the last video, we have learned how to use conditional statement, how to make the decision using if statement and if else statement. Let's do some more question, and in this video, we will also cover if, elif, else part. So this video is all about that. Let's have some question. The first question is, write a program to check whether a person is eligible to vote or not. So we have to accept the age from the user. So in the script mode, I have written this program. First of all, comment, please do write it. It's a good practice. Then you have to take the age from the user. So I have taken the age in a variable name as age is equal to int. Why we are using int? Because we want whatever the number is entered by the user should be considered as an integer. Then we have the input function, and within the input function a proper message to the user so that he can understand or she can understand what is to be done. So in the message I have written enter your age. So once the person is or the user is entering the age, you have to check whether the age, what is the criteria to vote? Your age should be equal to or greater than 18. So the same thing I have written using if condition, if age greater than equal to 18, and after the condition the colon should be followed. So if the condition is true, what do you want the user to see on the screen? You want to print the message that you are eligible to vote. Now if the condition is false, what message you want to give to the user? You want to print that you are not eligible to vote. So this is how you can test for the eligibility of a person. So I'm going to run this once. Question is, we have to check whether the number is entered by the user is even or not. Now for checking whether the number is even or not, we have to divide that number with 2, and if the remainder is 0, the number is even, otherwise it's an odd number. So for finding the remainder, I have told you that we have the modulus operator, or you can say the percentage sign. So let's have a look on the program. Write the comment. Then you have to take a number from the user. So the variable is num1. and int input, enter the message for the user. Now we have to check the divisibility, which is giving the remainder 0. So when we are comparing, we have to use double equal to. Why not single? Because single equal to is known as assignment operator. Now if the condition is true, then what we have to print? We have to print that the number, whatever the number user is entering, that value is an even integer. So you can see that the message and the variable value, they are separated with a comma. This is how you can print the value of the variable in the message. If you are not very clear, you can go to my previous video, my second video of revision, and in that one I have given the detailed explanation of how to give the message and the variable value at the same time in the same line, right? Now, if the condition is false, if the number is not divided by 0 and it is not giving you the remainder as 0, it means it is an odd number. So, else part, print the number is odd. Let's run this. We have to check whether the number is divisible by 7 or not. So, if you are given that to check whether a particular number is divisible by any number, see, you need to divide that number and the remainder should be 0. If the remainder is 0, it means the number is divisible by that particular digit. So if you are given the divisibility by 11, again you will write that the remainder, we are going to check whether the remainder is 0 or not. If it is 0, then the number is divisible by 11, otherwise it's not. You can see that again we have the modulus operator. So it is giving me the remainder. If the remainder is 0, then the number is divisible by 7, otherwise it's not. So I hope this is also very clear to you. I'm not going to run this again. The next one is write a program to display hello if the number entered by the user is a multiple of 5. Again, how can you check whether the number is multiple of 5? If you divide that number by 5, again the remainder is going to be 0. Same procedure is here. Only the message is hello and bye. 5 is a multiple of 5. Yes. So hello. Now we have to use if else statement. Why? Because we have so many conditions here. This is the first condition. Then we have the second condition, third condition, fourth, and so on. So in this case, we can have only one if and one else part. If we have more conditions, then we have to use elif statement. First of all, we want the user to enter the percentage. Now it could be in decimals, so I have written float. Want to get any number in decimals, then what is the data type? It is going to be float instead of int. So float input, rest is same. You're giving the message to the user. Now you have to check if the percentage is greater than 90, then the grade is A. If it is between 80 and not 80, it is including 80 and 90 also. Okay, so it is, if it is between 80 and 90, including these two, 80 and 90, then the grade is B. If it is 60 and between 60 and 80, including 60 and 80, then it is grade C, otherwise it is grade D. So else part is the last part where you are not giving any condition. Look once more. If percentage is greater than 90, so greater than sign over here 90, then you are going to print the grade is. And when we have a range and when we have to include, then only you will put the equal to sign when you are including these numbers, this number and this number. If you don't want to include, then just forget the equal to sign. Then you have to use if the percentage is greater than 80 and less than 90. So let's move to the next question. Write a program to accept a number from 1 to 7, display the name of the day, like 1 for Sunday, 2 for Monday, and so on. So what you have to get any number. So a proper message that I have given a number, message, enter a number between 1 to 7. I'm telling the user that you have to enter any number between 1 to 7. If the user is entering as 1, I'm comparing this and I have single column here and I'm comparing it with double equal to. When you are comparing even a number, then it should be in column. If it is true, then it is going to be Sunday. If it is 2, it is going to be Monday, and so on. Last, if it is 7, then Saturday. Let's suppose user is entering 0 or 8 or 9 or minus number. Then what you have to do, you have to give the message that you have not entered any number between 1 to 7. Please enter a number between 1 to 7. That should be your else part. So you just write this program. I'm not going to run this and show you the output. Try this program on your own and then try it with all the numbers. Even enter a negative number or 0. Let's see whether you're getting the else part or not.